So from the Innovate Finance Global Summit, I'm here with Wang, head of Alipay EMEA. Hi Lee, welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you, thank you.
Great to have you, thanks for coming on. So, not that I imagine our guests won't know all about Alipay, but do you want to start us off by just giving us a little bit of background and telling us a little bit about what you guys are up to?
Sure. Alipay started as a payment company in China, but nowadays Alipay is a super lifestyle app in China, and now we are bringing these services and product to global markets as well. We have more than 600 million active users on our platform, and by active user I mean each of them use us 7 times a day.
Wow, and we're talking active users.
Yes.
So that's incredibly impressive, and I think I'm right in saying that Alipay is now the world's largest mobile payment platform.
We are indeed.
And still growing.
We are indeed.
Yeah, so what's kind of going on in terms of the ongoing expansion on a global scale?
We have a very ambitious global growth path, but for my region where I'm covering EMEA markets, for the next year we are going to cover 20 countries. So for any country where you see significant Chinese traffic in terms of tourists or local Chinese consumers, we'll cover them. And recently we just launched Dubai.
Wow. So this is something that's, I think, only been announced very recently, the Dubai move.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, so very recently.
Yes.
And again, I mean, incredibly exciting, entering new markets. I guess, you know, as you guys have grown and you've had phenomenal success, obviously, starting out in Asia and moving out, what have been some of the challenges that you've seen as you've moved beyond China and Asia into other markets?
Of course, yeah. It's not easy to enter into any markets. On the demand side, right, there is a tons of education that we need to do about Alibaba, about Ant Financial. On the supply side, on the infrastructure side, I think, for example, for Europe market, the smartphone penetration could be quite low compared to its Asia market. That we need to think about creative solutions, how we get around that problem, right? But overall, all of these are technical problems, and give us time, we'll come across it and we'll conquer them.
It's terrific, and I think this has been one of the key drivers of the sort of fintech growth, if you will, globally, is this sort of appetite to tackle these sorts of problems head on.
Sure.
And come up with innovative solutions for overcoming them. I mean, I guess as we keep talking about, the sort of growth into different markets, what can we expect to see sort of over 2018 looking at Europe for you guys?
We have already worked with quite a few famous merchants in Europe, right? If you go to Harrods, if you go to Selfridge, or if you go to France, you will see us in Lafayette, in Patton, and if you go to Germany, you will see us in Rossmann, and Gucci, Prada, all these luxury brands are active with Alipay. So for luxury brands, I think we have done a fantastic job because everyone wants Alipay and everyone wants Chinese consumers there. And what we are going to do this year is going beyond the luxury brands, right? We want to make sure other services in Europe market can be brought to Chinese consumers. For example, public transportations, for example, taxis, right? For example, convenience stores. All of this, we believe Chinese consumers will be, they will need the service, and we will be able to contribute to the local economy as well.
And of course, what stands out there is, all of this, the merchants that you're partnering with, it starts with understanding your consumer, right? So it's customer first.
Exactly.
And enabling your customers to be able to use Alipay, where they most need it. So it's about putting it at the point of need for the customer, right?
Sure.
Again, this is what we're seeing, and this is what's so refreshing in terms of that sort of fintech growth. And we touched on it a little bit just before we jumped into the interview, but this idea of you guys are sort of building an ecosystem that sort of fits in with your customers' lives. So it's not just about a payment solution. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about some of the other offerings that fit into that?
Sure. You probably need to take one step back, think about what Alipay is offering in China market. In China market, Alipay has successfully done is that we can make a consumer living with only his cell phone and his charges, of course, and with nothing else. He doesn't need his wallet, he doesn't need his ID, and he can live in China, tier 1 cities for a week, completely self-sufficient, right? No matter whether he wants to call a taxi, who wants to call delivery, wants to pay for a restaurant, wants to buy something for his friend, anything. can be accommodated on this platform. Then in Europe, I think we are starting now, right? We entered the market 2 years ago. Then in Europe, we are starting to offer taxi services and other, food delivery. But it might take some time to get the full service portfolio comparing with what we had in China.
It's so fascinating, and again, it's so refreshing just to see companies putting customers first and trying to understand that customer need.
Sure.
Lee, thank you so much for joining us on
Thank you
FinTech
very much.
Insider. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Right.